What's up guys, in this video let's talk macro lens. Hey guys, it's Dessyclef and welcome to yet another lens review. If you are new here, I do reviews, upload educational content while trying to entertain you at the same time, anytime. Speaking of educational content though, stay safe. While the medical experts take a macro look on how to resolve the pandemic matter at hand, okay? Alright, so today we are looking at this macro guy here. Hello, OD? Yeah, I call it OD. This is the Canon FD 50mm f3.5 macro lens. First of all, don't let the word macro make you think the possible uses of this lens is limited. Yes, it's a macro lens quite alright, but without the extension tube, this extension tube which I'll talk about in a minute, this macro lens is able to focus from infinity and take very nice close-up shot, which makes it capable of replacing a normal 50mm lens if you can work with the f3.5 as the widest aperture anyway. It has a magnification ratio of 1:2, which is indicated on the lens itself, along with other magnification skills that includes a 1:1 ratio. But the 1:1 magnification ratio can only be achieved by adding this 25mm extension tube that comes with the lens. So if you plan on doing any serious macro work, then you need to make sure you get this extension tube. Now, what I like about this guy is the fresh perspective that can be achieved with this focal length. This 50mm macro lens will have you quite closer to your subject than usual. Depending on what you are shooting, this can be used to your advantage to get the lens's wide angle of view into your macro shot. But the disadvantages come when you are shooting live subject, which can get scared off by the proximity of the lens to itself. And when it doesn't happen, there's a chance that you might be blocking your own light while trying to frame or take a shot at the closest focus distance, unless you are using a macro ring light like the aperture macro ring light, of course, which I happen to own, and ever since I owned that light and started using it for my macro photography work, I kind of see that the 50mm lens can be used to my advantage, and I believe you can also do so, which I think is the right macro. It's the right light thing, I think. What am I saying? Never mind. This 1979 Legacy lens has an aperture that ranges from f3.5 to f32, and at f32 the field of view is so crazy that it makes it kind of difficult shooting handheld, especially when I'm trying to focus at a 1:1 magnification because the lens has no internal image stabilization. The lens is very sharp at f8.2. I think that's the sharpest you can get from this lens. And unless I have limited power, which would make me want to step down the aperture, I always prefer working at f8 and have everything almost in focus in the lens. But before I show you a couple of footages I took with this lens, I think you need to know this is the first macro vintage lens I'm trying my hands on, and I love the character of the images it renders. I love every bit of it being a manual focus lens because of the rapport, the connection it creates between me and the subject I'm trying to beautify. And I know this lens isn't perfect because of the softness of the edges of the images it produces, and for this reason I am open to trying other lenses too. So if you know of a better option out there for me, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be glad to try it out too before I can decide on whether it's worth recommending to my viewers. So thank you guys for sticking around to this moment, and please please stay safe in these difficult times. So until my next video, peace.